Live and exclusive on DAZN around the world this Saturday from Wembley Arena. A fantastic night of boxing from top to bottom. Of course, the three world champions here to my right, protecting their crowns, and the three challengers to the left, chasing dreams, waterfalls, and everything that comes with it on Saturday night live on DAZN. Before we talk to all the fighters involved, we're going to speak to Alfie Sharman from DAZN ahead of what is a huge run of events coming, 6 weeks on the spin all around the world.
Yeah, thanks Eddie, thanks everyone for coming. We're incredibly excited to have Sonny Edwards join DAZN, another world champion. It's a huge, huge signing for Matchroom, and obviously an amazing event on Saturday with a game opponent in Andres Campos. Look, if Sonny does the business on Saturday, you don't look too far ahead, but there's huge fights out there for him at a global scale. Bam Rodriguez, Julio Cesar Martinez, to name just two. These have the ability at a global scale to make Sonny the household name that he deserves to be, and we're really excited and really proud to be part of that journey. Obviously looking to the undercard as well, as with all Matchroom shows, an amazing card. Nina Hughes, Ellie Scotney, both fighting in world title fights, the return of Johnny Fisher and his army. So the atmosphere is going to be incredible on Saturday, and make sure you tune in live and exclusive worldwide on DAZN.
Thank you, Alfie. We start with our Before the Bell section, which has become synonymous with our broadcasts, making sure that our youngest prospects in the stable have worldwide exposure around the world. And we'll be kicking off the night with a young man that I think has bundles and bundles of ability and talent, young Muhammad Ali. Welcome, Muhammad. Huge fan base coming with you again to London on Saturday. Newcastle for the professional debut, but ready for fight number 2 at the weekend.
I'm enjoying it, obviously. Debut went well. We're on to the second one now in London. I can't wait.
And obviously for you, part of the Dave Coldwell team, fantastic training camp out in LA. Plenty of learning experiences for you there.
Yeah, got some solid sparring out there. David was well happy how I was performing, and I'm well happy with it, so yeah.
Good to see you back. 2 world championship female fights, but also one of the brightest prospects in world boxing in Shannon Rhyme, making a professional debut for the Matchroom team, part of course, the 258 management stable of Anthony Joshua's as well. Shannon, welcome. We're delighted to welcome you to the Matchroom and DAZN team, and ready to fight at Wembley Arena on Saturday.
Yeah, so firstly, I just wanted to say, Eddie, thank you so much for this opportunity. I truly believe this will be a best career performance to date. We've been working so hard in the gym for the last 6 months since my previous fight, and I can't wait to showcase my skills come Saturday night.
So you've been working hard, and some big fights around the division for you on a domestic and a global scale as well. 8 rounds for you on Saturday, and won't be long before you're moving into the championship rounds.
Yeah, I believe this one is definitely a step up for me, a nice 8-rounder, and then, yeah, we'll push on for the 10-rounders at the end of the year. Looking
forward to seeing action for the first time on Saturday. George Liddard, another man bringing plenty of support to the Wembley Arena, part of the Tony Sims gym. George, fight number 3 on Saturday. Been at Wembley Arena, been up in Liverpool as well, and now really starting to get your teeth into the professional ranks.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to go now. Really excited, and yeah, pleased to be back here, and thanks again for another good opportunity.
Plenty of hard sparring with you, obviously Felix Cash and Conor Benn in the gym as well, and starting to find your feet as a pro. Those first 2 performances, very good stoppages as well, and everyone in the gym talking about how much strength you're finding and how hard you're punching right now.
Yeah, you know, I've just been putting the graft in, sparring, you know, world level fighters week in, week out, and it will show again Saturday night when we go 3-0 with another impressive performance.
Thanks, George. Always try and put on a little 50-50 fight on Before the Bell, a little 10-rounder, giving 2 guys that we like and we've worked with an opportunity to go on, and winner stays on in this respect, and 2 fighters that we've seen before, 2 fighters that have won championships as well on our shows. Start with Reece Belotti. What I called him one of my favourite fighters this week. The story of Reece Belotti is, had a great job working on film sets. I mean, you're a very bright young man, was a fantastic amateur with a huge following, all of a sudden wanted to turn professional, gave up his job, went out, won titles, won the Commonwealth title, fought for the British title as well. And Reece, you've stayed busy. You lost against Raymond Ford, who I believe is actually going to go on and become the world featherweight champion. You came back with a knockout victory. You're back in a big championship fight. The final eliminator for the British title as well against Yusuf Kamari. Ready to go, plenty of experience now. Looking forward to getting back in there.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, I've got a lot of experience now, and I want to be in big fights. This is a big fight, and I'm glad the opportunity come, and I'll take all fights.
How's that transition come? Obviously, when you started, you were very raw, very green. You were thrown into big fights, championship fights quite early. You were renowned for your power, and now you've got plenty of experience across championship level with wins and defeats. You feel like you're a much more well-rounded fighter now?
Yeah, 100%. I kind of learned the hard way with that. I thought the power would always solve everything. It doesn't. So you've had to adapt my game, and you'll see more of that Saturday night as well.
Yusuf, welcome. Part of the Dillian White stable. A massive fight for you as well. I think for both of you guys, you have to win this fight on Saturday night. You were flying in the pros. You lost to Castaneda in a great fight at the O2. You've come back with victories as well. Must win for you on Saturday night.
Yeah, I want to thank you for another opportunity, and my management team as well. Thank you to them for getting me another opportunity. It's going to be a great fight. You know, in boxing the saying goes, styles make fights. Me and Reese's styles are going to gel very well. And this is definitely a fight of the night, maybe even a fight of the year contender. You know me, every time I come out, I'm always in a good fight. I'm never really in boring fights, so you get 100% entertainment when I step in the ring.
I look back to that Castaneda fight. That was, you know, I mean, your team has always been aggressive in the matchmaking. I was pleased you took that fight, but that was throwing you in deep early. But even coming through that loss, you feel like you learned so much over that 10 rounds.
Yeah, definitely, you know. I mean, I don't want to be someone that has a padded record and has fights where I fight guys where I'm most likely going to win. I want to be in fights where even if I take the loss like I did against Castaneda, I learn from it. And I've learned a lot from that loss, and you're going to see what I've learned and come back with on Saturday.
Well, both sold a lot of tickets for Saturday night. Yusuf Kamari, Reece Belotti in the ring around 6 p.m. live on Before the Bell on the DAZN platform, Matchroom Boxing and YouTube around the world. We go to the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher, who has his final 8-rounder on Saturday before he moves into 10 rounds and championship action. Again, a big shout out to Johnny Fisher, his old man, and the whole family, and the huge support that is coming to Wembley Arena. Blows us away every time. The opponent, Emilio Salas, southpaw, plenty of experience, has upset the odds before against young prospects. Emilio, welcome. You're going to experience some atmosphere on Saturday night, and we look forward to a great fight.
Emilio, bienvenido. Vas a experimentar un ambiente fantástico el sábado por la noche y esperemos una gran noche.
Ok, buenas tardes a todo el mundo. Gracias por la oportunidad. Y sí, vamos a hacer una buena pelea. Tengo bastante experiencia. Tengo un peleador que es bastante fuerte, bastante bueno. So, vamos a trabajar para eso, hacer un buen show.
Yes, so first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. Yes, I'm an experienced fighter. I'm hoping to put on, my best performance on Saturday, again against a strong fighter, and we'll do the best we can.
Thank you, Emilio. Johnny, welcome back. Wembley Arena, been here before. Another step up for you. Southpaw this time, the first in your career, and ready to put another explosive performance on at Wembley Arena on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you to everyone who's going to turn out again and get a massive crowd in there. It's been a different camp, sparring a southpaw, new challenges, and it's important that I tick every box moving forward. Always looking forward to putting an explosive performance as well, so that's what I'm planning to do.
Yeah, adamant from your team that you wanted to face a southpaw this time around, which is quite unique, really. It's normally the opposite, but just part of that grounding and experience for you before you move into the championship fights.
Yeah, definitely. And every fight I go into it with the mentality that it's a 50-50 and that everything's on the line. So when you get me in that ring, it's going to be intense and it's going to be exciting for the fans to watch. That's every time I fight, I want to put on exciting fights. So my style should do that.
And finally, I know you're always blown away by the support, but becoming a little bit calmer now in that environment on those ring walks. I remember the first one at the O2 when this crazy fan base just started to erupt with a couple of thousand turned up that night for you as well. But I know you're forever grateful, but also forever now looking at being more calm in the situation and expecting it every time.
Oh, I'm extremely grateful. I remember the first time we walked out at the O2 and you came into the changing room, Eddie, and said, "Johnny, you're not going to believe that crowd when you walk out there." I thought it'd be one little section, but the whole of the bowl of the O2 was full up with Romford Army fans. So I'm always grateful for everyone who has to spend their hard-earned money to come and watch me fight, and I try and put on the best performance I can every single time.
Thanks, Johnny. Look forward to that heavyweight fight. Johnny Fisher against Emilio Salas. This fight I'm so excited about. I think this is a tremendous domestic fight. Final eliminator for the British Cruiserweight Championship. David Jameson against Chev Clark. David, I'll start with you. Welcome. I had your lot over in Dublin part of the Jay McFarlane team, trying to have bets on me that you beat Chev Clark on Saturday. They were so convinced that you win this fight. And obviously this time, a long training camp for you against a very talented young prospect, but you and your team really fancy this one.
Yeah, no, big time. First off, I'd just like to say it's a pleasure to be part of a Matchroom promotion. So many talented, hard-working people behind the scenes. But, yeah, no, listen, you said it yourself, Eddie, 10-week training camps, not 10 days. I'm looking forward to getting in there on Saturday night and showing everybody what we can do with a full training camp.
Yeah, against Lawal, I know that you got injured in that fight, but you had 10 days to prepare. And straight away in that fight, I watched the fight, and you were a danger throughout the fight. I thought that you were going to win the fight at one stage as well with basically zero preparation. I do also see Chev Clark as levels above Lawal as well, even though he has much lesser experience in the pro ranks as well. But a lot of people talking about this fight as a fantastic fight.
Yeah, no, listen, you've got to back your man, Eddie. You and me both know that. But listen, yeah, I think everybody knows. Look at our two styles. They speak for themselves. Don't go to the toilet. Don't go to the bathroom. This is going to be fight of the night, I think.
Thank you, David. Chev, welcome. I see a different Chev in this training camp. I think you know the test that's ahead of you on Saturday, and I think you're excited for it as well, and I think you're ready.
Yeah, it's been a good training camp. Sparred Ron for Bully and plenty of sparring partners. But yeah, it's been a good camp and a hard camp as always, and yeah, we're fully prepared.
Obviously, you do have fairly limited experience in the pro game, fantastic amateur pedigree, but those 10 rounds that you got last time out, tough opponent as well. At short notice, you took that fight. They're the kind of fights that can really set you up for Saturday night.
Yeah, most definitely. As you said, it was a short notice, but me and my team, we adjusted and we was fully prepared and we got the job done.
Well, look forward to a fantastic fight. Final eliminator, British Cruiserweight Championship, Chev Clark against David Jameson. As we move up to the World Championship fights on Saturday night, we'll start with Katie Healy against Nina Hughes. Katie, welcome. A massive opportunity for you. We know that Nina was fighting Shannon Courtney. She pulled out of the fight. We were looking for an opponent. Always want to give British fighters an opportunity. We know you have a huge pedigree in kickboxing as well, but in the pro game, massive opportunity for you to become world champion on Saturday.
It's amazing, and it was, I always say everything happens for a reason, and when we received that phone call, it was just a straight yes. It was an opportunity that we couldn't turn down, and it's one that I'm ever so grateful for and I'm really excited for. So I'm feeling so ready for Saturday. It's a life-changing moment for me, and I'm going to make every moment worth it. So I just want to say thank you ever so much for the opportunity, and we're ready to go.
You look at that opportunity, very similar one to the one that presented itself to Nina, the opportunity to fight a champion out of nowhere, really. She took that with both hands. You're there to win the fight. You know Nina Hughes. You believe you can become world champion on Saturday.
100%. I think self-belief is such a strong part of boxing, and I've always been one to have a really strong mentality, and I know this is a fight that we can win. We're coming for that win, and I'm 110% ready for this.
Thank you, Katie. Nina, talk about confidence. Yours has grown massively. I keep saying in interviews, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, I gave you the opportunity to fight Jamie Mitchell. I expected you to lose that fight. You won it easily, really, and you put yourself arguably as number one in the division. Loads of hard work with Kevin Lilly and change of opponent, but full of confidence going into Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely. We've had a long camp, we've trained hard, and we've trained for everything, and no matter what opponent was put in front of me, we're ready.
I know now you look at unification fights, and Ebony's here today, and other champions as well, but these are sometimes the tricky ones against young, hungry fighters who you might not know too much about, but just as hungry as you were when you flew out to Dubai to fight Jamie Mitchell.
Exactly. She's in the same opportunity, same situation as I was in Dubai. Like, no one knew who I was, going out there making the most of the opportunity. So I need to just make sure I keep my title. I worked too hard to get it, and I'm not letting it go. Yeah,
that's the key. You remember those nights, and shout out to Lee Eaton as well, those guys that kept plugging away with you on the small hall shows. You got the call from nowhere, and now you have opportunities to make life-changing money in big unification fights. Can't afford to lose on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely not. I can't have no slip-up. So we've worked hard and we've worked for everything.
Thank you. Nina Hughes against Katie Healy for the WBA world title. This is a fantastic female fight on Saturday night. I love this fight between Ellie Scotney and Cherneka Johnson. Ellie Scotney, who has long been one of our best young female prospects, has really done everything that's been asked of her. She's won championships, she's gone in deep early in her career against experienced fighters. She won the European title, she won a final eliminator, and now she's in a position to challenge the IBF World Champion on Saturday night. Ellie, it's finally here. It's like been a long time coming, but you look in great shape. Your time, you believe you become World Champion on Saturday?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I've been waiting for this moment for, I couldn't even put a time on it. So Saturday night is soon approaching, and, you know, it's my turn to deliver.
You've seen, you know, turn pro quite a while ago now. You've seen all these big fights sort of emerge, and they're the fights that you want to be in. You want to be in unification fights. Cherneka Johnson, very, very tough. You know, going to give you all you can handle, but you do believe that you're the level above her. I saw in an interview you say you think you're better in all aspects against Cherneka Johnson, and no doubts in your mind.
Yeah, you know, I've got to go out there and deliver on Saturday night, and like I say, I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to walk out the, you know, IBF champion of the world, and I'm certain I will be. And
the team buzzing as well after Chris Billings. I know he'll be there on Saturday. A very close team. Mean a lot to those guys to have another world champion in the camp.
Yeah, you know, we've been 2 world champions within 14 days, and, you know, Jim's flying, so it's on me now.
Thank you, Ellie. Cherneka, welcome. Looking to make this fight for a long time. You've taken the challenge. You've flown overseas. I know you've been in camp in America as well. Ready to defend your world championship on Saturday night?
Ready to defend, yes. I've had a solid camp over in America, and this is the best camp that I've done yet, so I'll be taking my belt home with me.
Talk about that camp in America. A lot of fighters, particularly from Australia, you see now travelling abroad, not just for fights as well, but for the camp. Is that mainly for the sparring? Obviously, you know, you're in a very professional camp over there in America as well, and you've had the hard sparring you think you need for this fight as well.
Definitely with the sparring and just the level of training, I feel like in Australia you get to a point where you're at the top and you need other people to push you. So to be over in America and being pushed out of my comfort zone is definitely something that I needed for this fight.
Ellie believes she's levels above you, and you are the underdog going into this fight as well. Does that surprise you? I saw an interview with you where, you know, I don't know if you feel disrespected in that respect, but you believe you should be the favourite going into this fight.
Look, for me, being the underdog, there's no pressure. I know what I'm capable of, and I don't feel like the underdog, but if all you guys think that I'm the underdog, then that's cool, you know? Like, I just feel like it is what it is, and come Saturday night, you'll see.
Well, fantastic fight for the IBF World Title Champion, Cherneka Johnson against Ellie Scotney.